Anyone who reads the Bible will soon learn that there are some terms used in the Bible that you usually don't hear in normal day-to-day conversation. Propitiation, atonement, adultery, etc. Now these would be a few. When searching for meaning for a word in English, there's usually just one step. Look for it in the dictionary. When studying a Bible word, it isn't quite this easy. This is because our English Bibles are a translation from the original languages of Hebrew, Greek, and a little bit of Aramaic. It can also be confusing when we realize that different English Bibles will translate a word from the Hebrew or Greek into different English words. Let's take the word abide, for instance. In John 15:4 from the ESV, it shows up 19 times in the ESV New Testament, but the NIV uses remain instead of abide. Other translations, they throw in their own variations like dwell in me, stay united with me, and more, all trace back to this Greek word meno. Even though it's important to get a definition for the English word, we must also study the original language word that we translated from and try to understand what the author meant when they spoke or wrote that word down. Now, this is why a good word study has several steps involved. And then you can take all the information you have gathered to make a better interpretation of that word. In order to do an accurate word study, there's a few principles also that we're going to need to keep in mind. There's 7 in total when trying to understand the Bible, but I'm going to mention 4 that will pertain well to doing word studies. The first one is a contextual principle. The second one is the linguistic principle. The third one is the harmony principle, and the last one is a progressive principle. So if you're not familiar with these principles, I highly recommend taking a moment to watch this video that I've created. It covers them well. So let's do a word study on hope. I found this in 2 Corinthians 13:6. Number 1, we're going to define the word with an online dictionary. And then in our Word doc or Google Doc, we're going to write the word and its definition, and then we're going to rewrite it in our own words. Number 2, we're going to go to Blue Letter Bible, and then in the search word and translation area, we're going to write the word hope and ESV. So under the primary tab, we're going to write down the number of times that this English word is found in our chosen translation. Then we're going to copy the verse that we're studying, as well as other verses that apply well to our verse. We'll paste these into our Word document also. You can check each box to the left in Blue Letter Bible of the reference to be able to copy them. Number 3, under Bibles, we're going to compare the synonyms from other Bible translations. So now we'll hover over Tools next to the verse that we're studying, and then we're going to click on Bibles. Here you're going to see your verse in different translations. So write down all the words that the different translations used in place of your word that you're studying. So use the context of each word to determine which words seem to be the most accurate and circle those synonyms. Number 4, we're going to find the Strong's number for our word, and this will correspond to the Hebrew or Greek word that we're studying within the verse that we're reading. So click back to interlinear, scroll down to your word, and then click on the Strong's number, and this is to the left of your word. Go back into your Word document, write down your word in English again. Now write the Strong's number next to it, and finally the transliteration. So under the Greek inflections box, you're going to see how many times this Hebrew or Greek word is used. Now this might differ from the list of verses that we looked at earlier when we looked at our English word in our particular translation. Write this in your notes. Under the Outline of Biblical Usage box, read this to begin to gain a working definition of the original language word. Also, read the Strong's definition below it, and then write down or summarize anything you find useful there. Number 5, check the lexicon concordance to see if there are other Hebrew or Greek words that are translated into your English word within your translation. So we'll click back into the search tab up top where we started. Type in your word and translation again. Click the search arrow. Now click on Lexicon C and then click on Exact Match and click the search arrow. If you need to expand your search to other original language words that also use your English word, you will have them here. So under dictionaries, get a definition of the Greek word that was translated into your English word. So click on dictionaries next to primary. Maybe start with Vines and read some of the other Bible dictionaries as well. I would give priority to your Strong's number when it specifies. And from these dictionaries, summarize the content into a concise definition written in your own words. Number 7, summarize what you have learned. So what we'll do is we'll summarize our content into a concise definition or paragraph written in our own words. So if the topic or the word is controversial, then it's wise to do a more exhaustive study. Number 8, apply this word study to your own life and circumstances. So that's it. Now you can study any Bible word's meaning utilizing this method. And remember, the more you do this, the better and quicker you will get.